Welcome back to our abandoned park build in Jurassic World Evolution 2, building Mini Sorna, and in today's episode we're going to be building a massive walkthrough habitat. So I made a little bit of a start and I got a little too into it, so maybe I've done too much. But I've carved out this canyon and I've lined that with these multi-wall pieces. Very boring work. You didn't have to be there. We have two entry points, or an entry point and an exit point, depends on how you want to look at it. So that's over here. Because I was thinking, right, I wanted to do this canyon, but I also wanted people to still be able to move from one side of the island to the other side of the island. So that's why they're going to be walking through the habitat. But what I should also do, there you go. We're also going to be making like an underground tunnel thing, so that guests don't have to walk all the way through if they don't want to. Now, I think this will be a good place to put it, because obviously I want to keep those views. So I'm going to put one over here. And where should I put the other one? Oh, and I'm using the Hyperloop thing from the power stations, because this thing right here, oh god, is just for staff. That's like the staff underground system, so we're pretending that the different building is for, you know, the different type of traffic that it sees. Move it. Look at him! Hold on. Look at him waddling down. It's so funny and fast forward. I am so easily amused. It's wasting so much space with the terrain constraints. I think I'm gonna go for that then. Yeah, okay. And it's just, you know, going back and forth to shuttle people from one side to the other side if they, for some reason, don't want to go through this walkthrough habitat. Another thing I want to do, in the valley, we're going to do some animals that I feel are not really appropriate for a walkthrough. So that's going to be Stegosaurus and Pachycephalosaurus, of course inspired by that scene in The Lost World. And in this section, we're gonna have Mamenchi and maybe something else, something small. This didn't turn out as big as I would have wanted it to be, but oh well. That's just how life works. Yeah, and then the idea for the valley is that people can come over here and they can hop into a gyrosphere. I want to center it with that, because, you know, this is what remains of the monorail. Obviously, we're pretending that, you know, it collapsed, it crumbled. Technically, you know, if I really want to center it, it should be like that. I can't do that. We're gonna do this, and I'm gonna make it make sense. Somehow. So there, you can hop into the gyrosphere, and then you can go through the valley. There, fun times, fun times. Let's do a little bit of work on the side walls, although I don't mind the grass too much, but I think I need to differentiate it a little bit. Just doing a little wiggle. Yeah, hold on. I think I have a better technique. I think I just need to do that, and then I'll cut into it with the grass. Because I don't like having it like be this massive single texture thing. Yeah, I think, okay, this works. This is working for me. There, something like that, and then with foliage, you sort of go into the grassy bits as well. Alright, and to make it make sense that this thing is a little bit off to one side, we're gonna do that. There you go, and a little bit more, and we're basically just creating a new center point. A little further. There, see? And now it just makes sense. So yeah, there's gonna be like these nice overlook points that you can look into the valley. There should be like some kind of habitat over here as well to fill out that space, but also just a lot of guest stuff on this side as well. But this is just all going to be like a habitat that you can walk through. So let's grab some path. I just feel like this path makes the most sense. It looks the most appropriate. We'll go a little thicker with it, because this would see quite a bit of traffic. Ooh, I do think I've made a mistake in this park, and actually I've made two mistakes. But I'll talk about that in a little bit, you know. let me work up the courage to be so honest. I think I want to do that, if I can make that work. I can. Oh, what the frick just happened? I clicked on the map. Or the many icons at the top. Many icons. And obviously we need to have something... Ooh, it's not perfectly centered. Ooh, that's... Ooh, is that gonna bother me? I think so. Yeah, like that. There. Okay, now... oh, also there's this monorail station here, because there used to be a train also taking you into the walkthrough habitat. I think it might be cute to do like a little guest thing here, like just a couple of shops or something. So if we straighten this out, let's make it a slightly nicer transition to straight. Can we fit something in there? Oh, we can. Oh, happy days. All right, so here, a little drink, a little food, and I might be able to sneak a toilet in there as well. Could I sneak a toilet in there? I guess we'll find out. Oh no, not even close. What was I thinking, honestly? I could sneak a restroom in there, but maybe... No, there's no way. Ah, no, let's be optimistic here. Can we fit a shop? We can fit a shop! Oh my lord. Sometimes the game is just full of surprises. Alright, did I make enough space for a toilet now? I did. Cool. There. Well, now we just have some amenities over here. Is it gonna be cute to do something over here? I think I have an idea of what I want to do. I want the path to just sort of flow naturally, which is quite difficult to do because the path tool is just very annoying. Yes, even I think so. There, just a weird thing. It doesn't have to look like anything from above. Let's see if we can make this happen. I'm trying not to give like the path too much bulk. We are gonna have some like filled in areas, but you know, it's not too much. I think this is okay. I think we're good. So, and then we're just gonna fill this in. This way the path doesn't feel so spindly, so noodly. With if it was just all these types of pathing, you know, we have some thicker sections. Oh, I'm forgetting. Oh god, why do I keep doing that? I keep forgetting. Duh. Need to add some cracks in the path. Honestly, I don't hate like having just a huge broken section. Here we can clean up the those weird shapes with foliage and stuff. I think that might actually be kind of interesting. There, alright, we have some crackle bits in the path. Everything is connected now. They're gonna be drinking from the ocean. We won't be able to stop that, but we should add like a proper water source. I don't want to go like too big with rivers and lakes because I think that's going to mess with the silhouette of Sorna, which is, you know, kind of the gimmick that we're going with here. So I'm actually tempted to just fill this whole thing. Hold on, let me do it. Let me do it. Here, I'm tempted to do that and then like make a little island in the middle. But I think that interferes with the shape of Sorna too much. Ooh, I do prefer this weird shape though, so let's just go for that. Alright. And one of the things I had in mind is like an attraction is feeding the sauropods, but feeding the sauropods at like eye height. And what we've done quite a bit is use this as like a giraffe feeding sort of attraction, but this is still quite low. And even what I have in mind is quite low, but what I had in mind was grabbing... Ooh, or these. No, I think this is too tall. Hold on, let me hold this next to the brackies. Perspective is difficult for me. I just need to cheat. There you go. Well, Mamenchi is a little bit... Oh, is she taller actually? Or does she just look taller because she has a skinny... Because, hold on, the alternative, what I initially had in mind was these things. That looks very unsafe, doesn't it? Then again, this is a Jurassic Park. Everything is unsafe. That's kind of like the motto. But what I had in mind was do that and then have these things standing by. And you would just get, you know, lifted in a little cart onto this platform. And it's like a VIP experience. You pay a little bit extra and then you can feed the sauropods. From like an elevated thing. But yeah, the alternative is this one. But I think this is a little bit too tall. I think I should just chuck in a couple of Memenchis and see what actually what's actually gonna work. So let's do that. I don't know, am I crazy? Is that Memenchi a little bit taller? I probably am crazy. I think I'm just gonna randomize it. They don't have great skins, TBH. I'll just drop in one, just in case they're otherwise gonna get in the way of my work. I just need a size reference. Alright, I'm gonna chuck her in here. God, that's an awful skin. Oh well. Alright. Oh, she is very tall. I was not crazy. I am not crazy. She's way taller. Okay, then we're gonna go for these things. I think that's cute. So yeah, you'd climb up, little feeder station, and yeah, the sauropods would come over, and you would get to feed them. Where's the ladder on that side? Okay, we'll do the ladder on the interior. Oh, I wish I could clip them together. But what I'll do is I'll do that, just 2 back to back, and with some foliage we'll sort of hide that. Yeah, now we sort of have the whole treehouse aesthetic going on. Sort of, kind of. If you squint. You have to squint real hard. Like, you have to want to believe. But I do. I want to believe. A little path leading up to it. And I think what would happen if the sauropods, you know, they would spend a lot of time standing there. So the grass would sort of get worn away. Okay, so the thing that we're dealing with is this half of the island is the tropical biome, and this half of the island is the redwood biome, and the valley sort of cuts through it, right? Sort of separates the two. Over here, I think I'm gonna leave it pretty open, and that way, actually the area is quite big, so I feel like for 3 Memenchis it's fine, and leaving it relatively open is gonna also help with that. Make it not feel too small for the animals that are in here. Let's cover that up. I do want to be able to keep seeing my bridge. Alright, so I'm just thinking about what I want to do in terms of decoration. I don't want to do too much, because I wouldn't want it to, like, obstruct the, you know, the maneuverability of the sauropods. They just need to be able to move freely through their habitat. But there should be some stuff, obviously. I've already used the banner and the gate at the entry point, so I should probably try to hold off on using those again. This feels very morbid. I could do it maybe at the start, though. They're sort of like leading into it. That's some stuff I'm gonna have to, like this whole area we're not gonna be able to work on today. Yeah, I'm not gonna put them in here. Definitely should need like benches. Other seating opportunities, but that should probably be focused here. I do like putting them in the grass. I think that's cute. Here, what we've been doing is you establish a pattern and then you mess with it, because it's just been... It's been shoved aside. So you can imagine how it would have been, right? These would have like neatly been lined here. Here, we're sort of going to pretend there's like a little barrier to keep the sauropods from coming too close to the buildings. There, they could technically walk through, but you know, it's narrow, it's uncomfortable, it makes them nervous. I was gonna make this an overlook point, but since I added the buildings here, we're not gonna do that. So I want to put foliage in here, but it's not really working. They're just dense foliage, so we don't have to be looking at it. It'll be a lookout point in that direction instead. That's something else for like Jurassic World Evolution 3 or whatever it's going to be called, right? Just don't let fences and paths mess with the foliage this much. So yeah, this is gonna be a habitat. Don't know what quite yet, but it'll have... Just placing it so I won't forget later. There, this will have a lookout point like this, and it could also have some of these. Okay, I need to replace this fencing with just regular stuff for the moment. Because this way, I've been told by my moderator, thank you, that you can get the stuff way closer. Because the invisible fence has a dumb big hitbox on it nowadays. But if you just replace it with any different fence, you can get way closer and then go back to invisible fencing when you're done with your stuff. There, that's kind of nice. We need some logs. Ooh, maybe like maybe there was a tree here and the falling debris from the monorail sort of knocked it over, killed it. And I've been doing this one too much, but there. I like doing that. I'm actually gonna get rid of this one. Okay, so we have our 2 paths leading up to it. I left a little bit of space because what I think I want to do is put some lights in here. And then not line like the full thing, but have like little intervals. And right away it's Randall sits down on it. And maybe some flags? Why not? Living the dream. Yeah, let's make it gold. Ooh, that does narrow the path quite a bit, doesn't it? Not a big fan of that. Maybe we'll do flags on either side. That's a lot of flags. Okay, I should add in a couple of trees, and I think, let's see, here, these ones. It's like a good sort of midway point between like the full-on fluffy tropical stuff and the more tall redwood stuff. There, again, I want to leave it quite open. I might chuck in a couple of these just for the sake of variety. Okay, let's make this a little less weird. It's gonna require a lot of foliage and might not work, but yeah, kinda. Okay, and now for the valley. I think just a lot of low foliage. Make it like grassy. I think I'm gonna chuck some dirt texture on the ground here, actually. The Tyrannos have too many rocks to choose from. It can't decide. Where do I sit? Where do I sit? There, I'm just gonna put in 2 of those because I like them. They're so fluffy. And I really like using these. There, I think that's gonna be pretty decent as like a separation between the tropical and the redwood. Don't want to do too much trees in here because again, you know, we really want to keep it open to the view from up above. Now we also did a valley on Mini Nublar, and I did draw a zip line across. I'm just gonna see. I'm not quite sure if we're gonna do that though. Because you know what's gonna happen? One tower's gonna get really tall. Actually, it's not too bad. Because it is such a short distance. Yeah, that might work. That might work. Not on this far end though. What you can also do, well then you're gonna get one super tall tower, but you can also run a zip line along the valley. Here, like crossing it slightly. I'm torn, because I really don't like how tall this tower becomes. But I do think that it's a really cool attraction to just fly along the valley. So I'm gonna leave this one up to you guys. Help me out with this one. Big tower, yay or nay? I'm trying to think. There's no way I can build it like a little platform of terrain. Because, you know, we have the multi-wall pieces here. That's gonna use up too much space. Yeah, look how tall these are like the tallest trees. It's very, very, very tall. What if I move it a little bit? Oh god. If I move it a little bit closer. I think that's better then. Yeah, just let me know what you guys think about the zipline. I do think it's a fun attraction, but at the same time, I don't like the tall tower. Because it's very, very tall. But let's make the dinosaurs that are gonna go into the valley. So, like I said, Stegosaurus, my personal favorite. We have a 1997 like skin, right? Yeah. 6? Yeah, I think 6. Packies. 8. Sure. Now again, Parasaurolophus we already have in another part of the island, in another exhibit. I feel like I want to add something small in here. What did we put in the petting zoo? Microceratus and something else, right? Or just Microceratus? It's just Microceratus in the petting zoo, apparently. Then let's put Homalocephali in this one. Just have something running around here. Ooh, and I want to add a couple piles of dung. People keep saying that I should do that. Do that. Here, this is like the toilets. They're a little house drained. There. So let's pretend that I didn't say earlier that I made a mistake and that I was gonna talk about it and then completely forgot to talk about it. Look, I'm gonna own up to it. I'm not a perfect park builder, so I made 2 mistakes. The first mistake was that this tour that starts right here, right by the, you know, one of the main first plazas, was gonna be like transportation throughout the entire park. And I made a boo-boo by not leaving any space to draw the tour track through this area. And yeah, I probably could finagle it in a way to make it work by deleting a whole bunch of stuff. I don't think I want to do that though, so that's mistake number 1. You can see that, you know, it makes a loop here and it goes back. It was supposed to continue into the rest of the park. And the reason I'm not gonna bother fitting it through here is mistake number 2. And that's this area right here. This narrow path. I mean, it's a thick path, but in like the grand scheme of things, it's quite a narrow path. And this is a main artery in the park. Like every single guest that's here, if they want to go to this side of the island, they have to pass over this little bit. And usually I don't do that. I have like multiple ways to get around an area. But yeah, that's a design flaw on my part, that this is the only connection point. And that's why I figured, okay, we might as well make this connection point as well. It's very inefficient, but I've already made this boo-boo, so you know, this is what happens when you don't plan. If you want to know how to like properly plan a park and you're struggling with that, I do have tips on that. It's just that I don't apply them as often as clearly I should, so I will link that video at the very end. Look, personally, I feel like it's basically canon that the Jurassic Park parks aren't the most well thought out theme parks. That concludes another episode of Mini Sorna. Hit the subscribe if you want to make sure that you're not going to miss the full tour, and of course the remaining episodes to fill out the rest of the island. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy the game.